morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. Let's start off with the happy news of playing bingo last night. We played bingo, and I jokingly said, I'll tell you how much we won. Well, we won. 3 of us were playing, and we had 6 cards for each of the games. And so we had said that whatever we would win, we would split. Usually it means our loss. We split our loss. Anyway, I actually won 2 games. Now, the first game we were playing for $110, and I actually missed the bingo on my card. Claudine thought she had the bingo, and she called in, because you phone in when you think you have it, and she called in to get them to check her card, and it turned out she needed the next number that was coming up that was on the screen. So somebody had bingoed before her, and while she was checking that, I noticed that I had the 4 lines we needed on my card. So I said, get them to check this one. So we checked that one, and yes, I did win. And the prize was $110, but there was 3 or 4 winners. And unfortunately, if I had bingoed on time, I would have probably got it by myself, but it doesn't matter. I legitimately split it with other people. So we got $37 that time. So split between us, we got $12 each. And then the very last game of the night, which is the big prize, the prize was $1,555, and I did get it, and somebody else in the community also got it. And ironically, both of us were late in calling in, so he had already called another number by the time we got called in. But nobody had bingoed on the number that they called, and so the 2 of us, for the previous number, we shared that prize. So we got $778 for that. So all totaled, we got $815 worth of winnings, which is about $272 each. So we are happy, happy, happy. It was so much fun to actually be sitting in your own home and win something, it was great fun. Anyway, so that was just an update on what we were doing last night and how that turned out. I'm also going to put some pictures at the end. So I will explain at the end who the people are and how they relate to each other. So I'm just letting you know that there is going to be a couple pictures at the end. And I want to tell you a little bit about my other brother. We talk all the time about Gary because Gary and I are very close. Now, my other brother and I, there's more years between us. There's 6 years between us. And I moved away from home right after high school. Well, very close after high school. Within 8 months, I left home. So therefore, I didn't know him as an adult. I just knew him as a pesky little brother. Now, he has grown into a very nice young man. I don't, no, he's not a young man anymore. He's an old man. We're all old. But anyway, we have tried to, keep in touch with each other a bit better than we did before. So it's nice to get to know him again. It's sad when people kind of drift apart and whatnot, but when one person moves away, that's generally what happens. So anyway, he lives in the same community. Of course, he lives in the same community. Gary lives at his house. So, of course, they live in the same community. But anyway, they live in a community in British Columbia. He is married to his wife, Kathy. They've been together probably 35, 40 years. I don't know exactly how long they've been together, but they've been together a long time. And he works full-time. She also worked full-time. She worked at the hospital. I think she is semi-retired now. Grant is not retired. He's still working and working hard. So anyway, they have a house that they owned a smaller house, and they decided it needed some repairs and whatnot. So they decided to build another house, and they built a very big house that had a suite in it so that her mother could possibly live in the suite if she needed to, and she did live there for a while. And then it's all handicapped accessible. You can wheel into the washroom area. And so then when Dad needed a place, Gary and Dad went to there, and now Gary is there. So it's nice that as a family, you know, people are living together. That's the same as what we're doing in this house. And people don't do that very much anymore. They don't tend to, families don't necessarily share homes and whatnot. So it's very nice when that can occur. Anyway, so he's in his spare time, what he has, he's lucky because Gary is there, and Gary does a lot of like yard work and things like that for him. So he has a little bit more free time when he comes off work. They have 2 dogs, and he takes them regularly out for walks. And he's a very talented musician. And it's not music that I personally care for, the type of music, but it's still art in their form that they like. I think he said he was working on his 4th album at this point, so obviously somebody likes it. But anyway, they do it just like Gary does his writing. They do it for the joy of doing it. And so no, I'm sorry, you can't hear it. It's not there. It's for us as family to enjoy. They do have a website, but again, it's not music that our generation would necessarily like. So I'm not going to share that just because I don't want you all to think that I condone it or don't condone it. I just want that to be their thing. So Gary's thing is authoring and Grant's thing is musician. Gary also doubles up in the musician aspect. So like I said, the boys got the talent, not me. I'm a mom. That's me. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. That's my job. Anyway, what else was I going to tell you today? Oh, Gary is making what we affectionately call beef trout. It's been a joke in our family for a very long time, but he said when they used to camp, and I said to him this morning, how exactly did that start? He was telling me that when they would go out camping, they'd go fishing, and in case they didn't catch any fish to eat, they always took along a pound of hamburger. And so they had beef trout when that was the case. So I will have to show you after he gets it together. He forms a meatloaf in the shape of a fish, and beef trout will be enjoyed by us all. And he also made potato, not pancakes, potato patties to go alongside it, and fresh green beans. So Cal and Ashley and the kids are coming over this afternoon after nap. They're hoping that they're getting a nap. They may not be getting a nap. Finn is a going concern. Cal phoned us yesterday, and he was talking to Claudine, and he was telling her that they had to go to IKEA to buy a low shelf because they had these floating shelves that went up the wall in Finn's room with stuff on it for him. And he decided to climb up the floating shelves. So they're now off the wall, and a low shelf is in its place so that he can't climb the walls. He's an active child. Anyway, so they're going to come over and share a meal with us. So they'll come over after nap time. We'll enjoy their playing around. I'll see if I can get a little video or 2 of him running around, and how sweet Aurora is. And the one picture I haven't got yet, I haven't got a picture of the 4 of them together. So I'm thinking that I will try to do the 4 of them together. So I'll see what I can do to add on to the end here. Therefore, I'm going to keep my part relatively short. I'm long-winded. I'm never short, but, you know, relatively short. And when Gary gets the meatloaf formed, I will take a picture. And then when we serve up, I will take a picture of a plate and show you what we have. And I guess that's it for me today. Now, I will explain about the pictures I'm going to put on. So if there's another little piece of video here, it'll be in the time period between visiting and supper. And then when we go to the pictures, it's going to, the first picture is going to be when we were children, and we went to Klondike Days in Edmonton. We lived in Edmonton. Ironically, just a little aside, the house we lived in when we lived in Edmonton, the same layout as this house, built the same year, the same layout as this house here, except for that it was not a separate suite downstairs. It connected to the downstairs, and we had up and down, of course. So when I saw this place, I just was like, oh, I know this house. So it was nice. But anyway, this was Klondike days. And my mom was very talented as well, and she made us all Klondike outfits that matched each other. So in the picture, you will see in this order from left to right, my mother, my brother Grant, the youngest of us, my dad, myself, and then Gary. So that's the order going down there. The next one, their house that they had, I guess up to my high school years and beyond, that was the house that we always remembered as the family home, because that was where a lot of good times were had and whatnot. But I was there a relatively short time. But anyway, I loved that house. But out front, the house was up here, and then there was like a driveway that went down to an under carport, or a below ground level carport. And then there was a retaining wall. So we were sitting on the retaining wall, and on the retaining wall, there's Kathy, that's Grant's wife, Grant, Gary, and myself. So that's the order left to right. The next picture is in our home when we were in Abbotsford. I never lived there except for the 1 year that I was helping look after Mom. And we were together for a few days at one time. And so we took a picture of the three of us, and it was Gary, myself, and Grant in that order in the living room, or in the den. The last picture was Mom's final birthday. She was turning 78, and they were in the kitchen, and there was Dad and Grant and my mom. And Mom was blowing a little, one of those things that blows out and in, and enjoying the fact that she had her birthday cake and whatnot. And that was in September, and she passed away in December. So those pictures are going to be there, plus the beef trout. Don't forget the beef trout. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hope I get a little video in between. And if not, stick around for the pictures for sure. And we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay, we're on to the next day. So the meal that you will see, that you will have just seen, was the rainbow beef trout. We served it with stuffed potato patties and gravy and green beans, fresh green beans. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. Anyway, so we're now on the next day. So we are currently on Monday, and Gary's in the kitchen making some kind of creation. So let's go check him out and see what he's doing. Okay, here he is, chef at work. What you making? Or made? What did you make?
Just making up the taco, the chicken for the soft chicken tacos tonight.
Chicken tacos. We're going to have soft tortillas. I think they're cheddar cheese or something flavored, because they're orange.
Yeah, they're the orange ones, yeah.
Now you see him, he's got that all fixed up there. Now what is in that?
Just
chicken?
Chicken and onion and chives and some
peppers.
Tacos. No, the peppers I do raw.
Oh,
I cut them up. They go on raw.
All right.
I just need the pan so I can. This is the right side for my tortillas, so
Perfect.
I'm gonna just microwave that up when it's cook time. And then I can pan fry the tortillas.
Right. Okay, now I don't want to forget. I'm going to have Gary sit down with me tomorrow, and we're going to talk a little bit about something that happened when he was a youngster. And I think it's funny as hell. He doesn't think so, but I do. So anyway, we're going to talk about that tomorrow if I don't forget. And we will show you what this is like when it's finished with a picture. But I'm not going to do much else today because we're already in mid-afternoon. We haven't done much this morning. I was having a very hard time getting out of bed today. Gary has read me up to chapter 13 in his book, so we're sailing right along with that. And you're thinking we might have a slush tonight. We're not sure, but we might. Anyway, we will check you all later. I'm not sure how long this video is already, so I'm not going to make it any longer. I've rolled together Sunday and Monday, I will add a picture at the end here of Gary's dinner tonight. He's making chicken tacos. And I will hope that you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about my other brother, Grant. And I think that I'm happy to share my family with everybody. Just love them to death. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. So hope you all have a good day. All right, bye-bye.